read-only mode.
Morning, everyone. This is Ryan Hayes with Engage121 with you again for another product update webinar. Today's webinar, we have a lot of great things to show you. In particular, we are launching a new version of Listen that has a whole bunch of functionality patched into it, including a new view that matches with the view that you're familiar with in Explore, the same sort of interface, and a lot of new functionality with regard to cases and replying and private messaging. So we're going to go ahead and walk through some of those new features right now. As usual, the phone lines will be closed for this webinar, so if you do have questions, please use the questions functionality in the GoToWebinar software, and Jenny sitting alongside me will be monitoring those to answer whatever comes in and try and resolve those as we go along. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and move into Listen. So starting later today, this is the view that you will see in when you click on your Listen tab in Engage. You'll note all of the filters that you had in tabs before in the old version of Listen, which I'll pull up quickly so we can take a look at that. What you see here with your tabs across the top are now changed into solutions across vertically here. All of your system filters, your mentions, your influencers, your all filter, all of those are included at the top of the page in system links. Then any of your custom filters are listed down the page here. So you can see all of this corresponds to the filters that I have available in my current view. Now, back in the new Listen, one of the first things you'll notice is that we've added a panel view option for all of your Listen filters. And we've changed, you may remember panel view from older versions, but we've brought it back and we've changed it a little bit. Now it opens in a new tab, and it will size based upon the size of your screen. So if you have a very large screen with a high resolution, you can have a whole bunch of different Listen panels loaded up here to monitor all of those at once. You can also have this open in an additional window or have it on a separate screen, so you can have your regular Engage one-to-one interface on one of your screens and have your Listen panels on another screen, so you can monitor a whole bunch of things all at once. So that will be available for you. All of these things will update, and as new posts come in, you'll see a notice at the top of the panel alerting you that there are new posts, and once you click on that, it will publish down the page there. So we'll go back to Listen here. So again, this interface is much like what you see now in Explore. So all of the things that you can customize in Explore, like changing out the icons and things like that, is supported in this as well. You can also edit your filters. You can review what the current filter is, change the name for it, and change how you have it set up. All of the filters that you had before for Listen all remain here, and anything that you've had set up previously, as you saw earlier, will be translated into the new Listen for you. But you can still continue to filter and choose various pages and various options for how you want to slice and dice your content feeds. And obviously you can do that across platforms. So you can have a filter for Facebook and you can combine it with a filter for Twitter, for example. Creating a new filter is as straightforward as just clicking on New Filter and then picking the platform's identities, groups, tags, or keywords that you'd like to filter on, giving it a name, and then saving it. Now, A big part of the functionality that we added in for New Listen is the cases functionality that has previously been available in Explorer. So you'll see that at the top we have a link to open up your case list. You can click on that at any point to pull up your full case list. This is going to be a combination of cases across Explorer and Listen. And then if you click on the Cases button for a particular post, you'll launch into the Cases functionality with the ability to create a new case regarding that post. So you would put in a subject, put in the company, the contact, the various information that you do already, select a tag for the case, or create a new one if you'd rather. And then you can save the case and interact with that person, storing all of your data in the case's activity. So that's a big part of bringing together the cases and customer care functionality that we put into Explore, bringing it into Listen as well. Now, another thing we've added that is a unique option here is if I go over to mentions, I'll find a conversation that has been taking place on Twitter. So in Twitter, you may be familiar with the conversations data that they provide. You'll see, I'll open it up to show you a little bit of what it looks like natively. My connection will pick up here. Here we go. So in Twitter, I've got a conversation going on here. So my account here, RJ Productions, responded to Engage121, and Engage121 responded to RJ Productions. So Twitter provides a link for the conversation that's going on. So we've replicated that functionality here in Engage. So if I scroll down to that same conversation that was going on, here we go. RJ Productions said to Engage121, not a bad deal. I can take a look at the conversation that was happening, what that was in response to. Now, something that is unique and a very beneficial, very helpful tool is that we've also added a link for replies. So I see the conversation. So this post was in response to this post by Engage121. Now, if I want to see the replies that were made to that post, I can click on replies, and I can see everyone that replied to that particular post. So that's available for any post. It doesn't have to be one of my posts. So if I see one of my competitors post about something and I want to see what people said in response to that, I can click on replies, pull up the list, and see that in real time. So anytime you click replies, we're going to go out to Twitter, we're going to look for all the replies that were made to that post and bring it back in so you can take a look at the conversation that's going on from that. So that's a unique functionality that is not easily replicated in Twitter, but very powerful, very beneficial for being able to track how a conversation is happening. Another thing that we've added in that was not in previous Listen is the ability to use Facebook private messages. So when Facebook modified their pages and switched to a timeline view, one of the things that they started testing with and making available is private messages for pages. So you always had private messages for profiles talking to one another, but when they rolled it out for pages, now a client can, or a prospect, a customer, can come to my page, and since I'm the admin, I don't see it at this page, but if I was not, I would see a button here for messages. And I could open a message to my page, Rick's Rolls. As the admin, when I open my admin panel, I see messages up here. So I can look at the conversations that are going on, the messages, the back and forth that is being conducted on this page. So these are all private. Only the person who created it and the person who is and the page that is responding to it can see those messages. They're not available for everyone else. There are particular rules that Facebook has in place for this. So, for example, the post that Maria sent me, as the page, I could respond to this up to 2 times. And after those 2 times, unless Maria responds back to me, I can't respond to her anymore. So that's some rules that they have in place to protect contacts from or clients, customers from messaging a page and then getting harassed by the page, just because they opened up that channel of conversation. But obviously, if Maria responds back to me, I can respond back to her, and we can have a whole conversation going on privately. So if one of my customers has questions about one of their orders, they obviously wouldn't want to just post that on my page publicly. They're going to want to communicate with me privately. So those will come into Listen now, and you'll see that little direct message indication that there's a private message, and I can respond to that. I can create a case about it. And track all of that within Engage121 and monitor those conversations. Additionally, Facebook has made it possible for us to hide posts that were made on pages. So if someone posts on our page and they're just being a troll, they're not providing any sort of beneficial conversation, and we want to just remove that from the page, you'll see that I now have an X here where I can hide the post from the page. Obviously, we encourage you to try and communicate with people. Just because they say something bad or have a negative experience, we don't encourage you to delete the post entirely, but obviously try to respond and turn that into a good exchange and turn it into a positive experience. But obviously there are people out there who are just looking to cause trouble and not looking for an actual conversation. So we have provided the ability to hide those posts. Obviously, any post that you make through Engage121, you've always had the ability to delete those from your Facebook page through Engage121. So those are some of the things that are in here with regard to new features. You'll also notice that we have the tags functionality that we've added in Explorer, so now we can tag people and post independently. So this could be a person I'm following. It could also be a coworker, and then I could also tag the post as being something about a competitor or something along those lines. So we can tag those independently. Anything that's a tag that's applied to a person is going to stay with that person. So anytime I get another post from them, it's going to show up with that tag. A tag for the post is going to be unique to the post. Now, I've got a whole bunch of different listen filters set up here, and as you saw before, we can create a whole bunch of different filters using a lot of different criteria. But previously, we were a little constrained on what we could do with our email alerts. So we've beefed up the email alert system for Listen as well. So if I go back into Account and then go to Alerts under Listen, you'll now see creating alert by filters. So I can pick from any of the different filters that I have in Listen. I can choose my mentions, I can choose my Java 1-to-1 page, and create an email alert that combines all of those into one email. I certainly can set up multiple alerts for all of these and get multiple emails, but this way I can take a whole bunch of different feeds that I would like to slice and dice differently when I'm in Engage, but combine them all in together into one Listen alert, email alert. I can set that up for email, or I can get an SMS text letting me know that there is new posts on that filter, and then I should log into Engage to look at it. Obviously, the email itself will include the full post content, so I can see all of that right there in my email. But you can create those on the fly. All of your existing Listen alerts will work. anything that you had created before will translate over to the new system and work just fine. But obviously, with that ability to create new listen alerts based on the filters that you have, there's a lot more capabilities there for how you want to be alerted to new content. So just like we do for Explore alerts, where you can set up an alert based on any of the different searches you have set up, we now have that for Listen. So any of the different filters that you have set up, you can get alerted on them. Some of the other things that we added in here, if I scroll down to the bottom, I've got a filter for YouTube. So we've added some more comprehensive support for some of the native features, like being able to delete a YouTube video, things that weren't in there before. You now have the ability to delete this post. So just like we added it for Facebook, we're looking to cover everything that is available through the APIs for those systems. So that is available now. You can delete those posts, just like you can delete your own posts in Twitter, your own posts in Facebook, people posting on your page in Facebook. We're expanding that world to support what is supported through those APIs. So there's a lot that's in here, and especially things like those new filters, those new alerts, the new case functionality. There's a lot in there that I encourage you to go in and experiment with, and we'd love to hear from you on how that works out for you. If there are things that we can do a little bit differently, or things that are working perfectly, we'd love to hear the feedback from you on how that's working for you, and if there are any things that you'd like to see us change. I especially encourage you to look at that the review functionality, the replies functionality, and see how you can use that. We'd love to hear use cases and things along those lines. So if there's things you're doing and the new Listen is changing the way you're able to do business, we'd love to hear about it. We'd love to hear how you're using it. One last final thing that I'd like to point out before we end our session today is we recently made a change to the way approvals work for post approvals. So one of the things that we do is, depending upon how permissions are structured, we have users on accounts who are set up to be approvers of content, approvers of posts, and users who are set up on the account who are not permitted to post without approval. So the one that I'm looking at here from July 26th was sent through from a user on my account who is not permitted to post without approval. The account that I'm logged in as, the user I'm logged in as, is set up to be an approver on this account. So you'll see that I have it noted as pending approval, and I have the ability to edit this. I have the ability to provide a comment on it and then approve or reject it. Previously, whenever you would approve a post, it would then disappear from your planner. The change we made is at client request. We've changed that so whoever approves the post will continue to see it in their queue until it actually posts. So just like the person who submitted the posts to Engage for approval, the person who approved it will also see it in their queue and be able to monitor it up until the point that it is actually posted. So a minor change, but something that was specifically requested by clients, and we wanted to put that in place for everyone. Obviously, it will not affect anyone who does not have approval and permission set up. This is only something for accounts where you have users that that need to have their content approved before it goes out. At any rate, those are the things that we'd like to cover today. I'd love to hear from you on what you think of Listen and how you're using it. If there are things that you'd like to see done differently, Again, this will be live in production in Engage121 in CA later today. We're just waiting for a couple of things to finish up before we turn this on for everyone. But you will be seeing this in your accounts in roughly an hour or so. If you do have questions, please let us know. Please reach out to us. Support@engage121.com. You can also obviously reach out to us on Twitter at engage121.com or at engage121, and you can also obviously reach us on Facebook. Thank you all again for joining us today, and please let us know what you think.